Good morning, everyone. This is Djehuty. Today's date is November 13th, 2018. And in this recording, I am going to answer an inquiry I have received from 4 or 5 people wondering how is homeschooling going with Djehuty and Sons, which is a cool question because it allows me to elucidate on homeschooling, the homeschooling process, and the various types of homeschooling curriculums. Now, homeschooling for myself and my boys are going great, especially the way I choose to do homeschooling. Now, I, for one, would have greatly benefited from the type of homeschooling curriculum I've set up for my boys. I can look back on my childhood and know that I would have greatly benefited because I had to learn through experience that I'm most interested in the things that resonate to me. And I didn't know it back then, but I resonated to things that allowed me to do my higher life purpose, my higher life mission. I took a quick interest to certain subject matter. And that didn't happen in public school with myself. I was forced to learn, which was really indoctrination. I was indoctrinated. I was compelled to be indoctrinated or inculcated with certain things that I had a disdain for or I didn't have an interest for. I was disinterested in certain subject matter, but because I was little, I was a child, I had no say-so. And I was compelled, I was forced by the system to quote unquote learn certain things that, in all due honesty, I never had a use for. I never had a use for in life. And this is beside the point that I was disinterested in those subject matters. Even if I was interested in them, I didn't have a use for them in life. And looking back on that, I can see how important it is to learn things that you're going to use almost every day, if not every day, in your life when you become an adult. And yes, people, I know the word adult in the Djehuty vocabulary means adulterated. It's short for adulterated. Because truly, after 18 years in the public school system, you will be adulterated. You will be corrupted with the information that you will be inculcated or indoctrinated with. It pollutes you. It corrupts you. You lose what you have as a child, the ability to imagine, dream, daydream, fantasize. Things that I learned as a conscious adult, a reverse adult, were actually good things. When you get into the law of attraction and life magic, you learn, you rediscover how positive and how beneficial daydreaming is, fantasizing is, imagining is. Things that are taken for granted in childhood, and we take them for granted as children because, in all due honesty, it's just something that we do. It's actually a part of childhood. So taken for granted is, I'm saying that for lack of a better sentence or phrase. But it's just natural to daydream. It's natural to fantasize. It's natural to imagine. These things go with creativity, which is a natural part of childhood. You're most creative, generally speaking, you're most creative when you are a child. You lose that when you become an adult, especially after the 12 years of public schooling, public indoctrination, public inculcation. You lose that. Most people, they lose it. For a minute, I lost it, but then I regained it. So, as children, we do certain things that we're going to lose as we, quote unquote, mature. We're going to lose as we mature in the public school system. We're going to have more things that are geared towards the right brain. Things of a logical, rational nature, is just thinking. And left brain activity, for the most part, is going to lag behind right brain activity. And the left brain deals with creativity. The right brain deals with logic, and the left part of the brain, deals with creativity. Technically, they're called hemispheres. We have two hemispheres of the brain. The right hemisphere deals with logic, reason, and the left hemisphere deals with creativity. So, being a homeschooling parent and being conscious of all that I just said, being conscious of what I went through as a child with my siblings and my cousins and friends, and for the most part, everybody that went through public schooling, being conscious of all that I went through, it makes me a better homeschooling parent. Because I would never do to my children what was done unto me. And let me tell you, people, I look back on my childhood and, at times I just shake my head in dismay, at the school system, the teachers. And I'm not pointing the finger at anyone because, it was a job. They were robots, slaves, and they did a job. They did what they were supposed to do. So I'm not pointing the finger at anyone. But, the teachers, my parents, my aunts and uncles and grandparents, family, neighborhood people, religious leaders, the preacher at our church, Little Zion Baptist Church in Compton, California. It's almost like a conspiracy where everybody's on the same page and everybody is saying the same thing and they're telling you the same thing. You got to go to school. You got to go to school and get an education so you can get a good job. And I look back on that, I say to myself, wow, it's like a grand conspiracy setting you up to learn things that you really don't have an interest in, all for the purposes of working a job. And 9 times out of 10 for most people, it's working a job that they don't like, a job they don't love, a job they don't enjoy doing, which is slavery. And schooling ties into this. And I love my children so much that I refuse to do to them what was done unto myself. And so that's why I absolutely love and enjoy homeschooling. And I know they got it set up today where most people cannot homeschool. A lot of people would homeschool if they did not have to work the job. A lot of people would do it, but they have to work. Remember, they went through the public school system. And they came out on the other end as an employee or a prospective employee. They went through all of that to work a job. We learn a lot of things that we are disinterested in. We don't have a desire to learn these things, but they are forced on us. And so looking back, it's like, wow. It's a lot of wasted time. It's a lot of wasted time to end up as a slave on a corporate plantation. And I see that so clearly today, being the teacher of my sons. And as I started, there are several types of curriculums Not curriculums, excuse me. That's curricula. And that's a great thing about homeschooling too. It's almost like you get to go back and learn all over again. That's how I was able to catch myself in saying curriculums. Like, no, that's incorrect. It's la. Curricula. The A replaces the So you get back into prefixes and you get back into word roots or morphemes. It's awesome. Because as you teach, you learn or relearn, which is great. I love it. Because if you know me, you know I am a lover of learning. So there are different types of curricula. You can follow the state homeschooling curricula. They have created that. It does exist. Here in California, it's math, English, science, social studies, performing or technical arts, and physical education. Then you have the religious, this is curriculum. You have the religious curriculum, which can be predicated upon your individual personal choice, your individual personal belief or belief system. It can be predicated around Christianity. And in all due honesty, in the United States of America, most curricula was predicated upon religion, mostly Christianity and Judaism. The door is wide open, or was left wide open, for Islam. So you have Islamic schools. And if you attend an Islamic school, there's an Islamic curriculum or a curricula. So you have the choice to choose a religious curriculum or curricula. And then you can also do the individual parent-based curriculum or curricula. And I'm saying both because, it can be narrow or it can be general. You can work with different people and, different curricula based upon a person being religious, a person being spiritual, a person being cultural, a person being political. You could put it all together. It's parental based. You get to teach what you want, and you can borrow from other curricula in existence. And there's a lot. I mean, Congressman Ron Paul, I believe that's his name, Ron Paul. He has a homeschooling curriculum that prepares students for politics. Now, I'm apolitical, but I do like what Ron Paul is doing because he's preparing children to be able to handle life or existence in the matrix in America. So, that's cool. And then even the religious ones. Most people in the United States identify with Christianity, so you have a particular curriculum that's going to prepare that child or student, for the Christian way of life, or the Jewish way of life. There are a lot of Jewish pockets here in America. Same thing with Islam. A lot of pockets here. But for me, I do my own and I let my boys choose the subject matter that they enjoy. I don't choose it for them. There are subject matter that they may not like, but I do know that it's helpful in the sense of what it's doing for the brain. They can spend 15 to 20 minutes on that. They don't have to do an hour. That's torture. That's torture. So I let them choose the subject matter that they gravitate towards. That way they enjoy working. They look forward to working. And so that's where I'm at with homeschooling. My boys get to choose the subject matter that is dearest to them and that they enjoy. And they enjoy doing it, man. So it's great. For those who want to know how it's going, it's going great. I absolutely love it. And if you're able to do it yourself, I would highly recommend it. Well, that's going to do it for this recording.